Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna stay.
Eddie, are you a notary?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect.
$10.
So Marvin, we're taking
It's inflation.
taking 10,000 out of his budget for that.
No, I said 10, not 10,000.
I know, but we just
Too
put a
many
little
zeros.
inflationary factor
Yeah.
on it. It just kind of makes things easier, you know.
A few more zeros.
Where's this one?
You gotta make her cut too.
Well, exactly.
See, that's what happens when them judges
10%.
use our chambers. I find all kinds of stuff on my desk. Empty out my candy jar.
Doesn't that make you special then?
Yeah, special.
Who was in here?
They had court the other day in here.
I know which judge. I mean,
Judge Joyce.
oh, okay. Whenever you're ready, Betty.
I'm ready, Betty.
All right, we'll call commission order. Do we have any minutes or reports?
I do have the sheriff's fees for December was filed.
Okay. Any commissioner committee liaison reports or announcements of upcoming meetings and/or events?
We got Mac. As soon as we get done with this, we got
Lucky
Campo
you.
this afternoon. Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
Did you guys see that MMRPC invite? I think it was the 22nd or something.
Yeah. saw it.
Yeah, I cannot attend that.
Those are usually Wednesdays, aren't they?
It is Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's my wife's
So-
birthday.
But anyway, I will not be able to attend just because I'll be at FEMA class next week.
You
Oh,
usually
that's
go
right.
to those?
Yeah.
The MMRPCs?
Yeah, I try to make.
Is there
as I
some we
can.
need to be there for, or is it just one? If you miss one, it's not going to be a big deal.
You know, they don't really do a whole lot. It's just kind of updates on what's going on in different areas. I mean,
It's good to be there, though.
yeah.
So missing one, you're saying is not going to be a big deal.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I won't have to miss therapy.
Well, and I'm glad you're going out to Emmitsburg.
Yeah,
It's a
hopefully
good
it
place
won't be
out there.
too cold. But
Well, Gettysburg is all of 20 minutes, maybe, Jeff? Jeff?
It's-
Jeff?
Just time it out better. You've been there when the baseball season happened.
Yeah, that was fun. We went. We well, there was about 15 of us maybe that went to that Orioles game. I went down to a Nationals game. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool out there. So, all right, then I guess we will get to business, which is one item. Jeff, this is a discussion of building
I don't even know
space
what to
plans.
classify it.
I don't know. It's a
Uh,
discussion.
Future
planning
future
needs.
enhancements, whatever you want to call it. But this started with the basement thing, and we were talking about moving the public administrator and treasurer down there. Well, then we kind of had some ideas about moving GIS to the other side, and you know, it's a bigger issue than just moving people, because some people don't want to be in certain areas and they have legitimate arguments. But then the more I start thinking about it, we really need to figure out where we're going to be in 5, 10, or 20 years with the old jail. We had talked in passing about getting the assessor out of the Carnegie building, and I would really like to see us working on getting them in the same building as the collector. I don't know if it's going to be easy or cheap, but I think it's something we need to look at doing. And speaking of the Carnegie building, I mean, Greg's even got more. He brought some slate over, so we got roof issues over there.
Yesterday,
Where at?
around over Carnegie, on the grass, on that side where Chris parks his truck.
Hmm.
I went, called their builders this morning, see if they handled that roof or find out with Debbie if any of that work been done previously.
But, I mean, that's just something that with the Carnegie building we've been talking about. I don't know if we'll ever get rid of it anyway, because we have to have a place for the public defender. You know,
They can't be in jail.
maintenance may move over there. Your office is down there in the basement now. We're talking about moving treasure. So I think we got to get some kind of plan together. And it's not a plan for just this year. And that's why I want to do it now while you're still up here, because with your experience over the last 7 years, you kind of know where we've been going with a lot of stuff. And speaking of that, do you have a set of plans for the old jail for Chris that he can look at? The ones I emailed last night.
You didn't email him?
Yeah,
All
but
right.
he was wondering if you had the big set so you can sit down and.
Well, I don't know. I've ever seen a big.
Okay.
I might have seen. I'll have to look.
Well,
I don't know that we ever had Architects Alliance get us 18 by 24s or whatever the heck. The full size. I think
they may be 8.5 by 17 or whatever they are, 17 by, but. So
I mean, we did retain them to take a look at those options, and if we get into that type of a project, I mean that's a lot more major than just reorganizing some space from top to bottom, and
It also gives us other options, though. If we're going to do that in the next 10 years, why move everybody around and do all this work in the basement and spend money on that when we could really take that money, tell them to hang in there for the next 3 or 4 years. Some of the things Marilyn brought up was, security issues down in the basement. Because I hadn't planned on having everybody had to go through security to get to her office, but there's different options with that.
well, some people, one of the I think downsides to security is once you get behind security, you get a desire to be behind security. Does that make sense at all? I mean,
Yeah.
If you're not behind, I mean, I have no desire to have security up here. In fact, when we talked about putting the security in, we specifically said we didn't want it in this building. But once you get behind, once you're inside the envelope, you start seeing how nice it is.
Well, if some crazy's going to come up and come after Marilyn, they could beat her up with her damn name sign. It doesn't have to be something that would come through security. So, but I understand. I mean, beat her up with a stapler.
I mean,
I think you make a good point, though, too. I mean, if we're going to need more courtroom space, we're going to have to do something probably in the next 5 years with the back of the old jail. And
the cheap option is tearing down the jail and the sheriff's house and rebuilding, and that's the set I think you sent. There's 3 sets.
Right.
There are 3 options that we had Architects Alliance look at. The one you sent is the cheapest one.
That was just the shell.
Right.
Keeping the shell and then
And
building
building a security for her.
putting the floors.
That was the cheap. That was the one you've got is the cheapest one, which is basically tearing down the sheriff's house, tearing down the jail, and building a new building, predominantly shell space, that would become the main entrance to the courthouse, etc. Then there were 2 other options that they looked at. One was basically gutting the insides of those buildings. I mean, that's not the right word. What's
For lack of a better word, that's pretty much it.
But it wasn't. I mean, it's more than just gutting. It's
You're gonna leave the
it's
shell.
basically leaving nothing but the walls, and then redoing all the floors inside.
get the floor heights right.
Right. And then the third option was just effectively adaptive reuse of the existing facility. And both of those options were much more expensive. Do you remember?
Well, the one of them's going to line the floors up, and the other one doesn't.
Right.
If we don't line the floors up,
Then what's the purpose?
yeah, and I agree with that. So that's why I was leaning toward getting the floors lined up. This is all this. No,
But I think that one that you sent out, that was the cheap option. It was like $2 million.
here you go.
And as I recall, the expensive option was like
There you go.
4 or 5 million.
I did have it. Sorry about that.
All right, there you go.
And I mean, we're going to run into issues with the Historical Society if we look at tearing stuff down. I'm not opposed to keeping a shell. I think it's a neat looking building.
What are the Carnegie Building's needs for the
Future,
next 5 years?
rough
Rough dollars.
dollars. Depending on how bad the roof is,
Shit, there's some more.
depending on what we do with the, right now, it's in decent shape. It's probably the next 5 years, it will need tuck pointing, which you're looking at between $100,000 to $130,000 to do. It might need some window frames put in, because some of them are wood still. I would say within the next 5 years, you're looking anywhere between 140 to 160,000 roughly, depending on what happens with the roof. I haven't priced slate, so I don't know what it costs per square foot anymore.
To just get it fixed.
Yeah, I didn't tell Greg to be up there. I said he can sit in if he wants to. It's an open meeting, but my my plan was to formulate some kind of plan to work with. You know, when I came up here, the county was in pretty good shape, and when I leave, I want to have it in good shape. So I think, you know, the buildings now, we've been lucky with the budget, pretty much got it in good shape. So I think now we can start focusing on the buildings. We've got the capital improvement sales tax.
We have a fair amount of reserves that we built up that we can do for a one-time project.
The courthouse, you know, we're talking about that. We've got the, oh crap, what do you call that money, Judge? That one time money?
Receivership money.
Receivership money. We still got, what, about $1 million in there for that?
$500,000.
$500,000. We got a half after we bought the sirens. Sirens.
Sirens.
Okay,
Sound
Bill.
like me.
I'm with you on coming up with a plan, but where do we, you know, and I think the other elected officials need to weigh in on this too. And of course, prosecutor, he didn't want to move and go over to the law enforcement center because he said it's too far to travel back and forth. And but where do we put the assessor? I mean, you got some thoughts? Just
I thought the assessor could go upstairs. I know,
in the prosecutor's
and that's
office.
what I thought, if we could do the prosecutor over in the courthouse.
Prosecutor go over there and then have
If
another
there's
courtroom
enough
over
room.
there.
So do we need to get, you know, like Amoresco? Is that something they'd be wanting to tackle? You worked with them on the,
I mean, I think they could do it. I mean, but I mean, if we're going to do that, I mean, I would say that. I mean, how far do we go? And I mean, you know, heating and cooling. I mean, you got to really redo the whole thing, and it won't be. I mean, if it goes back on the inside, it won't be historical.
the historical part of it. I don't think, as long as we're not getting federal money for it.
But I mean, you start putting the judges' chambers in there, and then I mean, of course, they can come up with the money to outfit it however they want.
Yeah.
But then they get to tell us what to do. So I kind
Yeah.
of think it's our building, and
It's our building. We need to figure out how to handle the space needs in the complex. There's no easy solution to this. I mean, it's not.
Does
We've cobbled together a complex as opposed to having a long-term master plan to do it. And I agree that there's probably real value in sitting down and coming up with a long-term master plan. But I agree with you. I mean, we've got to bring the elected officials in and let them talk about what they have for space, what they need for space. And, you know, my just kind of gut opinion is there's plenty of space.
mm-hmm.
It's just not laid out properly. If we do this plan, which is I think the one you emailed out, or generally the one you emailed out, you know, it shows that there are on each one of these additional floors in the sheriff's, it's currently the jail and sheriff's house, there's plenty of room for expansion. But as I recall, this is the one that's set up, it does all the bathrooms on every floor, making just a big set of bathrooms on each floor, which takes up a lot of the space on that floor.
And we can take those and piecemeal it together to fit better if we don't want to do it on each floor. We've got some bathrooms that we've redone since those plans, I think.
We have. I think
And-
we've redone most of the bathrooms that we needed for handicap purposes.
And if we redo the basement,
That's 2 more.
we'll have, right there on the main level. You don't even have to come through security. You can come in, use the bathroom, back out if you have to.
My inclination from, is I think it behooves us to look at a long-term plan. I think as far as getting Marilyn downstairs, there's some benefit in moving her just because we need a jury room. And if we get Marilyn out, we end up with 2 jury rooms, one basically across or down the hall from each of the 2 jury courtrooms, which would be beneficial.
So having hers out would give us a
jury
room right there by the court.
Right. And there's already one on the floor below.
Well, and Mom was on the jury a couple weeks ago, and she was complaining about that too. So why
It's a
didn't
total
you still pick
redesign.
up and down the elevator?
That's the
'Cause-
gut.
Right, because
That's the tear down.
Sallyport's here,
Moms
right?
don't listen very good.
It's, yeah. No, that's the side part right there.
Well,
So
but-
this is Monroe.
right. So then the Sallyport's here.
Oh, yeah. That's right. But I think that was, we decided to do it this
Right.
way. I wouldn't even change if we could.
Right.
I wouldn't try to change it a whole lot.
But that'll give you an idea, kind of the
Sure.
options we had, and they weren't just in stone. I think leveling the floors up and
And then
getting
just
us some
having
more room.
3 floors versus 4. Is that basically right?
Will it still be 4?
1, 2, 3. It would be 3 floors.
But if you tear it down.
3 above the sally port.
Yeah, 3 above the salad port.
Two.
2?
Two of those, so.
2 above sally port. Okay, yeah, because the 4th
Here's
floor
the-
comes right out above the
I
jail.
mean, if you line, you know. you
I mean, that's
raise
something
this
down the
up to
road
line
too.
this
If you,
up.
you know, you
Yeah.
can go up.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Go up another
Here.
floor, you had to.
We'll
Tear
just
it
write
down
a
to
check.
the first floor and then go up.
I got it.
To do what?
I
Tear
thought
it all
the
down to
ground
sally
floor of the
port,
courthouse
and then
was
start
above.
over and
That
level
was-
it
that's a
up
step
per
down.
floor of the courthouse.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Tear out
You
the
wanna look at that,
outside, the
Jeff?
shell and everything?
This one shows going
You're gonna
to.
spend more money.
You'd end up. That's the adapt, just straight reuse. No, don't match
Yeah.
the floors. That's don't match the floors.
Right.
This one is. That doesn't match the floors
No,
either.
that doesn't. There's
This
matching
is now
floors.
we're aligning the top floor. I thought one of these was a straight alignment to the floors, wasn't it? No, those are. Maybe that isn't that one the one. That's the
That's
current
not good.
building. Yeah, this is the new building one, isn't it?
Well, it looks like a new exterior on the front there.
'Cause I think if you tear the building down, then what you do is, you know, the first floor starts here. You have a taller sally port level, for lack of a term, than you currently have, and then all the other floors line up.
I mean, I don't know, just from a gut feeling, I mean, I think you're almost better off to tear the whole thing down and, I mean, leave the sally port if it can be left, yeah, and then build back up from there. Because I mean, I think try to gut the inside. I think you're going to spend as much money as you would to tear it down. And
Well, you're going to run into a lot of other things that we were looking at when you align up the floors, which is going to be obviously the better idea, so that they're coming straight in. When you do that, the outside windows aren't going to line up where you need them to anyway.
Mhm.
So it presents other problems.
well, then
but-
you could. I mean, then if you built it back up, then you could add another floor in there. And, I mean, if you lined the floors up, you could put a 4th floor on it.
And we've had Architects Alliance go pretty far down the road on this. I mean, my suggestion would be, as opposed to going to Amoresco, or is I would get Architects Alliance in, because they can just dust out all the work they've already done and pick it up, as opposed to going all the way back to, I mean, get Amoresco in or somebody, they're going to want to start at the beginning again. And if we give them some guidance that, for example, the number one priority is lining the floors up. That then gives them a lot of guidance on. Because I think when we did these, we were just saying, give us some options. You know what we did? And none of those options in this packet align the floors.
Yeah, none of them.
No,
One
none
of
of those
these
align
do.
all the floors.
How many people does the
Those are all
prosecutor
the
have
adaptive
over there?
reuse ones.
Or not the prosecutor,
What the hell's our
Public
one that
defender.
lined it up? Well, shit, I thought I had one.
That's
You
this
print no
one.
more than I would.
I'm-
Probably
Email.
5 cents.
I'm just okay.
The one you emailed
Is the one that lines it up?
and that's the most. That was 2.2 million,
Okay.
which we can afford.
Yeah, I'm
15.
I agree. I think tearing it down and starting and just coming up with it is the easiest. I don't like tearing it down. I don't know why. I'm just hesitant to do that. But
But even
You
if
know.
we do that,
You can still reuse some of the block that's coming out in new buildings.
well, right. I'm just thinking. I mean, do we try to get out of the Carnegie building and I mean,
I don't know,
I
mean,
think try to get the assessor out of there, even if we
but
don't.
then you just got the public defender over there, and that's it. I mean, and maintenance. I mean, that's an expensive.
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot. I mean, if we can get out of that building, we want to get out of that building.
Okay.
I mean, so if we could bring the assessor and the public defender over here and put them both upstairs, and they had enough room.
It might be cheaper to rent a building across the street than it is to maintain a building because we just have to supply a place for the public defender, right?
Might be cheaper to run a building and move the collector, recorder, and the assessor into a building, and then have this space available for reuse.
Well, that's what I was getting this all together for, so we can brainstorm, and then we can invite the other public officials, department heads, and we can really have a fun meeting.
Well, and
But
if
I
you
think
want to
we'll-
start with the elected, form a committee, get that committee to
God.
design goals and
Yeah, I'm with
timelines
Jeff.
and budget.
I don't do committees.
Yeah.
Committees
Well-
are where
I'm out.
committees are where good ideas go to die.
Yeah, but if you get too many people in the room, you're never gonna go anywhere. I'm sorry.
It's,
You're never
and
gonna
I'm
go.
sorry, it comes down to 3 people get to make the
Okay,
decision.
then don't worry
And-
about involving them. then.
Well, I mean,
But I
there's-
want their input, because they're the ones that actually know their job and what they're doing, how much space they need. I may not agree with
Well,
all of it, but
Yeah.
you know, we have a great set of public elected officials, but I doubt there's a single one you would ask that says, "No, I don't need any of this anywhere near the space I got right now." I think all of them would say, "Yeah, I need more space." You know, I mean, you go across the hall to Marvin's office, and it's functional, it works, but I would bet money that if you said, "What would you really like to have?" You know, he'd probably want a couple other offices as opposed to just his office. You know, you might want Dawn to have an office. You might want the desks for everybody else to be bigger and more expansive. You know, that's the nature of all of us. I mean,
He can have my office.
watch what you say.
Can I have it?
Sure.
so I mean, you know, there is asking what do you see in the future. Everybody's going to say, "I need more space."
Well, and that's, I mean, every year at budget time, it's, I need more space, I need more employees.
Yep.
It needs and wants, kind of comes down to needs and wants. Just say,
I
just need more space.
Yeah,
I need more space too.
You're not helping things, John.
I just space, no employees,
Just
just
give
space.
us our space.
no. I mean, I'm okay with meeting with the elected officials and just letting them know what we're thinking and what we'd like to do, and,
Yeah.
you know, tell them we're looking at a long-range plan, but I mean, the prosecutor's wanting people all the time, and sheriff's wanting people, and,
The good news, they've got a place.
yeah.
But
But,
you also gotta think about the health department. They're getting busier and busier downstairs. Granted, they got a little space left upstairs. Seems like every time I'm over there, they're busy.
We've even looked at expanding that. There's really no
Yeah.
place to go with that besides if we go vertical, and I don't
Right.
know.
And that building's not structurally designed to take another floor.
And then you got the Pranger Center, not on the detention side, but on the work side. You got 3, 4, 5 people in offices over there. Yeah, so, I mean,
so maybe we need to get rid of some people, huh?
I didn't say that. That
Well,
was
you
Chris
did
Shepard.
sound like.
You did
Shepard.
tell me at
Shepard.
budget
Yeah,
time.
I used to sit in that chair, I used to say WRIG.
I think you always said HOE.
He also said wind up windows and no carpet or
Yeah.
something.
Vinyl floor mats.
Yeah.
Which has changed.
Seats.
So now he has it all
Yeah.
in that new truck.
Oh, does he? Oh, really?
Well, I mean, writing up some kind of master plan, that we don't have to formally write up a master plan, but we've got a master plan for the county, and it's going to change over the years. But there's some direction on this, and I think we need to, instead of putting Band-Aids on stuff, we need to look at.
I think we ought to. My suggestion is we ought to set up a meeting with Architects Alliance before we start meeting with all the elected officials
Okay.
to get some guidance from them on, because they've got enough experience in doing these buildings and doing layouts and designs to be able to talk to us and say,
Mhm.
here are some of the things you can do, and here are some of the things that are. You know,
Yeah, if you add to the jail or you fix it or whatever, here's how much room you're going to gain. You're really not going to gain much, or yes, you can get enough to move people around. Your options are.
And it strikes me that what you're saying is, with respect to moving Maryland, you're getting some opposition from her
Not
because
too
of
much.
the security issue.
But no, she had questions about security. She is
I mean,
concerned about that.
I think we've both agreed, or we've all agreed, that putting her down in the basement doesn't cost that much because we really just have to shell in that office space. So we could get her down there and get a jury room open, which seems right now is, I would say that's the only pressing need we have, space-wise, is we just need a jury room. And we have the space, we just need to move it.
Okay.
That doesn't stop us from long-term reorganizing and doing anything because we're not talking about enormous costs.
Right.
I would be different if we were going to go down and completely redo all of the
And we'll leave,
basement.
so right now, if we leave Dale where he's at, get Marilyn downstairs, she's still gonna be concerned about the
We just have to-
security part, so we need to address that.
She's going to have security guards and a bailiff within 20 feet of her.
I think her worry is she works a lot on weekends by herself.
But nobody's in
But
the
nobody can
courthouse
get it. The
then.
building's secure on the weekends.
That's true.
So that part, I mean, yeah, I think she was concerned about that, but it's during the day because she deals with a lot of people that aren't as sane as I am, let's say. So she's worried. That's how bad it can be.
As long as he.
God, I didn't know where to go.
Yeah.
It's not very often that Chris and I both get completely speechless for a minute. That was one of them right there.
I had a 20-second pause built in for y'all's comments. So, all right.
That's true.
So,
She's got her own restroom. She's got the guard securities down there.
well, we were looking at trying to do stuff down there that would make it sense to keep her down there. And Greg actually, he threw an idea out there. I batted it around, and right now it's probably not the best thing to do. We'll work on that then.
My suggestion would be let's get Marilyn down there and get the jury room opened up so that we solve the immediate problem. At the same time, we meet with Architects Alliance and we start this master plan process.
I'm good with that.
And that way, we kind of kill two birds with one stone. I don't think we do any of the other remodeling we talked about in the basement. I don't think we worry about doing anything with the bathrooms or anything at this point. We just get Marilyn
Get
down
her
there.
down there.
And then that way, because the bathrooms are stuff that's expensive. Putting in a door frame, what do we need to do? Shell in a little space, put a door frame in for that archway. That's probably the most expensive thing we have to do down there. And that's by and large what we have to do. Dale, we can leave Dale where he's at. We just have to give Marilyn access to be able to go through the computer section, which it's our section. We can give anybody access we want to get to it. I mean, is it keyed? Are those two doors keyed, or
Yeah.
so we just have to get her a key?
Right.
Maybe we can look into a swipe thing there too, if that's
What she wanted.
a swipe card, using their card to get.
What does
to
she
that.
need? Keys to get to the computer room?
To get from elevator to her office.
Why?
If we just give her access so she can get through there. When she
Why?
has a handicapped person coming in.
Oh, they can call the marshals like we do in any other handicapped person,
That's true.
or
Well, it's
not.
on the weekend.
If it's on a weekend, the marshal's right there.
Okay, get her a key.
I don't have a problem with Marilyn having access to walk through that hallway. It doesn't bother me.
No, I just didn't
She's
know
good
what she
people.
needed it for, so. But yeah, okay. I understand that, that's fine. So, we'll work on that. So, now you know where me and you are at on that. We'll get that set up. I'll get a meeting with
I'll
architects.
call Carrie
Okay.
or Michael. I'm not sure who worked on it. I think Carrie. I don't know. I'll call Architects Alliance and get them back to dust those plans out, and we'll pick a date when they can come up.
And if we want to do that as a standalone meeting, just set it up in the afternoon or whatever, just tell me when to be here. As long as it's not on the calendar out there, then normally I'm all right. Your schedules are usually a little more.
In
So-
the master plan, I know you guys told me at budget time to bring up. in
And then that's where we're
January,
going to reduce Marvin's space.
Long-term parking.
Oh, hi, Marvin. Sorry, Debbie. I
Oh,
just,
sorry, long-term parking. You told me to bring that back up in January.
who did?
You guys did.
I did.
I didn't say that.
I didn't. I don't ever want to hear that word again.
Term parking.
Park is a four-letter word I don't need to hear.
Long-term parking up at this facility.
Oh.
Where's my folder? I will hand it over to anybody.
Morning, guys.
How are you, Marvin?
No, not parking spots, but long-term parking.
I mean, we've struggled since I've been here with parking.
I thought that might be, we had talked about maybe negotiating something with the city if they decide to do a parking garage or something.
Yeah, but they haven't. They keep. I don't know what the right words are except to say they're not making any progress on a parking solution for downtown. So
Probably until they make a decision on the conference center, they won't have any.
Yeah, I mean, I forget where I heard they were at, even on behind the Hawthorne Bank, if that kind of spinning in the mud.
well, it's because to do the downtown conference center, they have to have all that parking money to build, which means no parking garage downtown.
Means a parking garage for the state employees, basically.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I don't know, have you guys been talking about that as far as the
I think we have some direction, and I don't know. The meetings that I have, I want to do them if we had like 1 hour. That way we don't get burnt out on the stuff and we can keep it moving.
I agree. I like having the
Yes.
standalones.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if there is some immediate need or some future need at Pringer and Health, I'd like to maybe have Michael and Christy at least talk to us about that. I mean, I guess one of my goals would be to get rid of the Carnegie building.
Second on that.
Third.
Marvin, one building? Cheap.
No, I don't think you can give me the corny.
You know, you can store all your voting machines over there. You'd have lots more space for your offices.
I don't want the
Storage.
corny.
You can use it for storage.
I'm sure you were gonna go for it. I'll use it for storage. Be free.
And in the end, that may be the only thing that building serves its purpose as, is a storage building. You know, it's a money pit. I just sincerely feel that building, no matter how much money we put in it, the only solution is going to be we have to come up with more money to put in it.
Blow it up and put a parking garage there.
There you go. You know, Riley, R-I-L-E-Y.
And that's got one of them big signs on the outside of that building. Good luck with that one.
It has a nickel on it.
Yeah.
We got one over here.
We donate it back to the library.
You know, when I was a kid, that was library.
It was.
I remember going to story time in the
Because you're
basement.
old.
Hey.
Yep, thank you.
Hey.
Do you even have a year on me?
I got a bunch of years on you, I think.
Oh, no,
Since
you don't have
you
too
guys are
many.
here
How old are
and
you?
we're talking about sales
42.
tax.
47.
Oh, God, you are old. God. How do you make it up them steps every day?
I trot right up on a piece of cake.
I know. You usually pass me. Come on, Elster. I don't even smoke. I'm going to have to start smoking so I got an excuse to be out of shape. What'd you need, Debbie?
I gave you
Did you
this
call us in
list.
for something special?
No, I didn't, but we can do this today since we're here instead of waiting until tomorrow too. Either way. But this is, I just want clarification.
Is that on the agenda?
Yeah, it is. I mean, well, you're talking about capital, and this is capital, and this is sales tax, so.
You gave us a
Well, a lot of what's on this list is part of the courthouse master plan. Some of it's not.
Well, the only thing I'm asking for clarification is the things in yellow.
Yeah.
What I understood we were going ahead and doing, and I just need approval that the Public Works can go ahead and get that copy / plat.
I think we already approved that.
All right.
The property purchase, I mean, that's
Well,
waiting
yeah.
on an NFA.
And
Butter.
actually, you don't really have to look at any of that except for go down to the last one, which is juvenile. And what I had in yellow, you guys already approved, which is the sofas, the clothes dryer, and the metal detector. I just want to make sure we can go to bid on those if we have to, or go ahead and purchase those.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And then as far as the list down below, as far as the buildings, is there anything while we got Greg here that we need to address and start bidding? Obviously, the bidding process takes a while.
Well, I mean, unless there's something literally that ain't working. Right now, it seems like we're talking about doing kind of a master planning project, and I'd be hesitant to start upgrading HVAC systems or doing things like that if we're going to potentially look at doing some type of substantial work.
I agree with you. Let's figure out where we're going, what we need to get done, and then we can start doing these projects.
Is that good with you?
It's fine with me. I just didn't want to
Jeff?
hold up
Yeah,
the
I agree.
process if there's like the sidewalks in front.
Yeah, like,
Can we get an update from somebody on Amoresco out at EMS too?
I'll call them.
I don't
They
recall
said
when they
3
were supposed to
weeks
come
or-
back to us, but it seems like.
I thought the end of January.
Oh, is it end of January? I
I
just
thought
could.
that's when they were gonna have a total.
Yeah, because we were sitting there talking to him about how much time he needed with the holidays.
That's
We
right.
were-
I remember that now. Okay, never mind.
So,
And if you go to the second page, then down at the bottom, are you willing to do some of the equipment that Greg had specified that he needed? What I understood was you did approve the one in blue. And if not, let me know. Are the
what did
ones-
we approve when we talked about this first time? Or did we say we was going to come back and
Well, we
revisit?
put it in the budget. I just don't think we ever actually discussed which ones to get and when. I don't have any problem with getting any of these, except I think we'll have to bid
Yes, that one.
all of them, because you're buying 2 Kaivac 12-gallon 500 psi machines, which combined is going to be over 4,500.
Right.
But I think we agreed they were needed. We just
Okay.
needed to. So I mean, if we're gonna go bid them, bid them.
Okay, so all the ones in color there, you want me to go ahead and get Jennifer?
All the ones in color, all
All
3
ones-
of them.
Well, yes. What about the blue color, I guess?
Yeah, what is that, Greg?
Which one?
The 1-man lift.
Yeah.
We're needing it, either we're gonna have to start renting them, or have a company come in, like Myers or somebody. with
So it's something
one-
for inside.
Inside, it's a single person lift that we can get up to those 20 to 25 foot high ceilings down there, changing light bulbs, cleaning vents and stuff.
Is there anything in surplus that we could?
I've looked, nothing in surplus. The cheapest one I found right now with United Rental is right around $12,000. And it's got like 500 hours.
Pretty decent machine.
Yeah, they're nice machines. I mean, they're small enough you can get them to doorways. You put your outriggers out, you crank them up or plug them in, and you get up to nice height.
Can we bid it
We have to.
as an option? You know, look, this is what we need. I guess they're
They were
rated on
used.
More
weight,
used, yeah.
weight, and size of the basket or whatever you want to call it, whatever specs you want on it. You put on there, you know, just give us the best price that you got. I don't care if US Rented has stuff that they sell all the time. They might throw a bid on that.
Yep.
Is that something that you will have to do some training on?
I'll have to teach everybody how to use it properly and make them sign off a piece of paper saying.
Safety harnesses and all that stuff
Yeah.
too.
I was trained on this such day. Sign it.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm
You guys?
okay with bidding it.
Get them bid, and then we can look at it.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah.
Where'd that voice?
Not on the agenda, Debbie.
Sorry, I almost got y'all out of here.
So
pretty
we're,
good.
And I
we're
gotta
good?
go.
Yeah, good.
Time's back.
9.
Is it at 9?
10:15's call to order, but you gotta have coffee and be able to discuss stuff beforehand.
Again, a capital
We need
improvement.
to be there at 9 so we can have that.
What are you doing in here?
No. This is. We can't take
You
this up
should
right
be
now.
there.
Sales tax.
That's not what our agenda item is. Our agenda item is facilities. We can talk about the main base expansion. Now, we can't talk about all this other stuff.
Okay, it's on there for tomorrow then, too.
But it's good to have it, and we can think about it.
All right.
You get
Sorry,
pretty sneaky
hate to
there,
pull the
Debbie.
hate to pull the plug on you there, Debbie. But that one I think we actually have to do when it's posted. Just discussion of
Capital.
capital stuff for EMS, but not facilities. You know, equipment.
All right.
Anything else?
No.
Going once, going twice. I entertain a motion to stand in recess.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed. Motion carries. We will stand in recess. We have a big agenda tomorrow, so
I got all day, or till noon, or
I got
something.
till noon, yeah.
You have any desire to do that on all your department heads this year?
yeah. I don't have a desire to do it, but I think we have an obligation to do it.
Okay. I guess I need
To do what?
Performance evaluations.
Oh,
find some time that works for you guys.
did you write yourself up the other day when I told you to?
No?
Then write yourself up again for not writing yourself up.
Okay. I was late too. I thought this was at 9.
Well, they've got Mac, so we set it early.
How did we do that last year? It worked out pretty good. We just kind of,
You made us do our own.
that wasn't last year, I think.